The Chicago Bulls released a number of injury updates, including Kevin Huerter, Coby White, and Trey Jones, who could miss some time. We're going to talk about it all and more right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, hosted by Haize, your number one spot for all things Chicago Bulls.
What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. I'm the host there, Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Bulls Central Pod on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that said, let's go ahead and get into this content for today, y'all. And we got a number of injury updates for the Chicago Bulls. The first one, we're going to start off with Coby White, who got an update. Coby, originally, Billy Donovan said the plan was for Coby White to play in the Chicago Bulls' last preseason game, where it seems like that now is out of the question. Right now, it looks like the plan for the Chicago Bulls is for Coby White to be available by the season opener. The Bulls will have about 5 days between the last preseason game and the season opener to get Coby White ramped up. Now, this is a little bit concerning. The fact that it hasn't been reported as a setback, but it does feel like it's basically a setback, right? Now, Billy Donovan was clear in before preseason started that they were just being precautious when it comes to Coby White and that calf injury. They did not want to risk any chance of re-aggravating that calf and it turning into something longer down the path. So maybe that's still the case. But for me, if you were already saying that it was just a precaution for him to even sit out the preseason, originally it was said that he could have played if it was regular season, those type of things. But for that to change to now you're not even getting him one game to ramp up, not a half, not anything. I'm just, with the history of the Chicago Bulls and their medical staff, I think that I think I'm well within my right to be a little concerned about that, right? And it could not be the case. Overall, maybe it could be perfectly fine. Maybe they are just saying, hey, we feel so confident about Coby being ready to go that there's no point in having him play a preseason game. We're not really worried about that. He's going to be ready by the regular season, and that's the end-all, be-all. And maybe that is the case. Maybe Coby would be fine. There's no setbacks, no worries, no nothing like that. And Coby White is going to be out there on day one of the regular season, ready to perform, ready to be the Coby White that we need him to be. So until further notice, I'm gonna assume that that's the case. But I can't blame anybody with the Bulls training staff and the Bulls medical team and how we've communicated injuries before that if something more may be going on here. But I don't want to worry anybody. I don't want to fear monger, so I'm not going to do that. So we're just going to focus on the news. As it stands right now, Coby White will not be playing in any preseason game. Originally, the plan was for him to play in the last preseason game. That's now gone away, and the plan now is for him to play in the season opener for the Chicago Bulls, the first game of the regular season. That is the plan. That's the way that has been communicated. That's where we're going to focus on for now. And we'll see what comes of that. Now, we got a couple of other updates as well. Trey Jones did jam his foot in practice, and he could play Wednesday, but as it stands right now, he is questionable for Tuesday's game for the Chicago Bulls when they take on the Denver Nuggets, if I'm not mistaken, is who we play on Tuesday. So Trey Jones, a player that's been important for kind of the chemistry of the Bulls, and a player that's come in and kind of changed the pace of some games. He's been a really good facilitator and rebounder for the Bulls, even when the shot hasn't been falling. It looks like Trey is questionable now for Tuesday's game, and we'll see how that's going to shake out. I think Trey Jones. Trey has been really important for the Bulls, and I think Trey, along with Ayo and Zach Collins, they're going to form a pretty solid bench rotation for this Bulls team. And the thing that I look at it is that, jamming your foot, let it be what it's going to be. If he needs a game or two to get over that, let him have that, because we're going to need him in the regular season. No questions about it. His season already ended early last season with injury. We need Trey out there. We need how Trey is going to play, and it's going to be what it is, right? So Trey, important piece, but we'll see. Kevin Huerter, he did more today in practice as well. He is trending to playing in the preseason again, maybe on Thursday, which is the Bulls preseason finale. So right now, it looks like he's not going to be playing on Tuesday, but he could play in the final preseason game to get a game to ramp up on Thursday against the Minnesota Timberwolves, I believe is how the schedule works out. I gotta I should know this. I should have this memorized, but covering like 4 different teams at this point, it's a little bit difficult to have everything memorized. Let's see. Yeah, so it's Denver Nuggets on Tuesday, the Minnesota Timberwolves on Thursday. So it looks like Kevin Huerter right now, the aim is for him to be back on Thursday. So there you go on that one. And then the last update for the Chicago Bulls is that Julian Phillips is still out with knee soreness. No other update on a return schedule or anything for Julian Phillips. This was an important offseason for Julian. With the battle of the 10th man spot between P. Will, Dalen Terry, Noah Essengay, Jalen Smith, Julian Phillips, for the most part, has not been able to get involved in that at all. And so that puts him behind the 8 ball in the chance to get those minutes in the season. And, I don't know if he gets that chance back. He's going to maybe have to wait till something happens or, a matchup thing or something like that. We'll see. But Julian, this is an important season for Julian Phillips. He's not a restricted free agent until the end of next season. But for the Bulls, and especially in evaluating Julian Phillips, if Julian wanted a chance to get into the rotation this year, this injury and being out with knee soreness this long, it's going to hurt that chance for him. And, that's just what comes with it. So unfortunately, it looks like Julian Phillips is not going to be playing anytime soon. There is no real plan for him to play anytime soon. And we'll see how that changes for him. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. We shall see. The Bulls also made a roster change. Kevin Knox is now officially signed as they waived Huerter. Is that how you pronounce his last name? I know I'm completely gay or whatever. Mahamadou, I know how to say his first name, which is crazy. Mahamadou, he's been now waived, and Kevin Knox has been officially signed. Kevin Knox is expected to play for the Windy City Bulls. Mahamadou could still play for the Bulls as well. Keep in mind, he wasn't signed to a 2-way contract either, so he could very well still sign with the Windy City Bulls. He'll still get that extra bit of money. But now it's official. The Kevin Knox signing is now official, as the Bulls have opened a roster spot to get him in there. So there you go on that one. But that is the updates for the Chicago Bulls. Not all great. Not necessarily bad either, but it just kind of is what it is when it comes down to it. We got Vikram says, I want to see more P. Will Modest minutes and some Noah minutes tomorrow. It may get less, bro. Especially with Billy Donovan saying that they're going to increase the starters' minutes. Now, if you're missing Trey Jones, if you're missing, Coby White's still not going to be out there, Kevin Huerter's still not going to be out there, it's going to open up minutes for somebody, right? So, there should be some more minutes there, and we'll see how that ends up shaking out. If this team can all stay healthy, I give them 45, 48 wins. I mean, hey, from your mouth to God's ears, brother. Easy says, that's cool. Let's start slow. No excuse for AK to go tank a bit. We already know the value of – the Bulls aren't tanking. That's not a thing. The Bulls aren't tanking. Is he at least attending? Yes. So Coby White's been at training camp every training camp. Like he's doing some shooting. Like he's been out there. He just can't do contact, stuff like that. So, it is what it is. Coby will most likely be on a minutes restriction for the first few games of the season. That's a good point, Steven. Is it Stephen or Steven? But that's a good point. Very good point there. We got Quentin says, what's up, brother? Hey, I'm okay with this. The Bulls are making sure they don't rush him, and they're being upfront about it. Exactly. I mean, if they're just being transparent about it, no harm, no foul there. If Kobe's on the restriction, does that mean Modest is going to be the first option to start the season? No, because a minutes restriction doesn't mean a restriction as far as the options and the priority in the offense, right? But it does mean that Modest is going to have more opportunity. If you can only play Coby White a certain amount of minutes, somebody's going to have to step up and take those shots in the minutes that he's not out there. And that very well could be Modest Buzelis. What do you think of P. Will? I really like it. Sorry if you already gave your thoughts on it. I have, Easy. It's actually on today's episode, but I'll paraphrase real quick here for you, or condense. P. Will looks like he's going to be a solid role player. But I think if you look at Billy Donovan's comments in the presser after the game yesterday, he's not going to have a huge role. And his role is going to be conditional based on how he's playing any given time. So if Passive P makes another appearance, he's not going to get minutes. And that's basically what Billy Donovan laid out after the game yesterday. But P. Will is going to have to continue to play to earn his minutes. That's what it is. For this to be an evaluation season, they show doing a good job at seeing what they got. I mean, hey, they're looking at everything right now in preseason. With this Kevin Huerter injury and Julian Phillips, now it's time for Patrick Williams and Dalen Terry to step up. Not a bad take there, Jeremy. Not bad at all. Based on what you saw from Noah in the last 3 preseason games, do you see him being ahead of Dalen or Julian? That's a great question. I'm going to still say no because I know Billy Donovan. And I know Billy Donovan is going to rely on players that have done it longer, because even in a condensed role, like I think let's say Noah was in the rotation, he wouldn't be playing more than about 5 or 8 minutes per game. I see Billy Donovan going to guys that he trusts more. Now, with injuries and stuff, if that starts stacking up, you may have to play him. Now, I do think if Noah did get minutes, I clearly see how Noah is going to impact this team. Being able to get out in transition, because he's great with that. He's very quick, great first step. His ability to protect the rim, his lob threat ability. That's really what you're, and of course the defense. I'll be clear on the defense too. So we'll see. We'll see. It's pronounced Stephen, like Stephen Curry. Okay. I just want to get it right. P. Will looks promising, but knowing him, who knows? See, and that's the thing. I can't say he looks like a role player. He looks like a role player that you'll look at and you'll be like, hey, those minutes he did. And that's all P. Will got to do is not hurt us in his minutes. That's it. Very simple for P. Will. Don't hurt us in the minutes that you're playing out there. I think that'll be fine. Just put them all in bubble wrap until the regular season. Good grief. Hey, I feel you. How do you see the Colin Smith backup spot? Oh, Collins is definitely the backup center. I have no doubts about that. Zach Collins is so far above Jalen Smith in regards to the depth chart. It's not even funny. But I do think, much like with a lot of the other guys fighting over the 10th spot, it's going to be situational, and Jalen's going to have an opportunity as well, and we'll see what he can bring and how consistently he can do it. So that's something to look at there. But I just wanted to bring this quick update, y'all. Nothing too much ado about it, but we'll see what happens to Coby White. As it stands, he's out into the regular season. Trey Jones is going to be out for at least the next game. Maybe he can play on Thursday. And it looks like Kevin Huerter is going to be probably out until maybe the finale as well, with the hope of him getting in the regular season. So we'll see what happens with that one. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 30,000 subscribers by the end of the season, but ideally, if we can get to it by the middle part of the season, we'll do a little giveaway if we can. So if you guys are freeloading, watching, and not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you guys are following us at Bulls Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, bullscentralpod@gmail.com. And lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We are the #1 spot for everything Chicago Bulls related, but that is thanks to you, lovely and beautiful people. And like I like to end every episode on, go Bulls. Love you guys. See you right if you can, y'all. Peace.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.